low-key, if y'all have an event coming up, a birthday party, we are hiring out Yolanda to be. Can we give it up for Yolanda? The most amazing, awkward, it was something, yo. That was amazing. If you're first, so sorry for that. Well, hey guys, no, unfortunately, yeah, we are not having youth next week. And really, we only have 4 more Wednesdays in the entire year. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. But until then, we are here now. If you don't know me, my name is Justin. And we are diving into a new comprehend it. It's just called Champions. And really, really quick, I want to ask a question. Has anybody like legit that you like really regretted? Yeah, we don't have to say it. When I think of things that you do that you regret, I think of tattoos. Has anybody regret? No? Okay. Yeah, we know, Gavin. Yeah. My wife quite literally went on a mission trip, got the most ridiculous tattoo. She's like looked for every single other tattoo to cover up. We call it Mexican regret. It's like the most crooked mountain landscape, and it's horrible. But kind of prepare for the conversation, I wanted to show you what I believed to be some of the worst tattoos that people have regretted. So welcome to the top 10. Yeah, here we go. No regrets. Okay? Yeah, it's like, bro, what you finna do now? No, I got no regrets. Okay? What else we got? My mom is my angle. What? Love you, Mom. You are my angle. Next, here we go. It is my life. All right, that's kind of wrong. It is my life. John Bovey. I never saw John Bovey. Okay, anyway. Continue. It's supposed to be Bon Jovi. Yeah. It's get better. Don't worry, guys. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's get better. For you. Amazing. Here we go. What's next? Oh. Lock your doors, Brenda. Literally in every single type on Microsoft Office. Brenda, he's coming for you. Is anybody here named Brenda? Sweet jeez. Brenda, you're safe, bro. You're safe. Connor, you're dark. Next, what else we got? Regret knowing. Dude, not even the T. Regret knowing. Regret knowing. Okay, anything else we got? Oh, sweet Lord. Can you smell them? God, they're free. Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Jordan. Oh, Brad damn. Did he just cuss? Yeah, okay, yeah, no. Fed, okay. And there's Jesus. You want to give your life to Jesus. He stands at the door of your heart and knocks. And he just, okay, ugh. Could you see like his armpit riblets over here? Disgusting. Well, there's actually 2 types of regret. There's one type of regret, and that's the things that you do that you regret. We want to have tonight. Because there's actually another type of regret. And this is the regret that is honestly a whole lot more deadly to your faith than anything. It's not the regret of what you did. It's the regret of what you didn't do. Back when we were in youth, like I said, if you are new here, my story started quite literally in the building, but way over there on Archwood Road. Raise your hand if you were with us in Providence Church. Come on, somebody, give yourself a hand to OGs. Raise your hand if you know what Providence is. This is awesome, bro. Yeah, so it was in this Brokebank building, looked like a club. It was horrible. It had stinky stained carpet, tables coming down. And we were actually in the building next to it in this little strip mall. It was the weirdest like youth ministry building you could possibly imagine. But we grew up there under and Brand. They were our youth pastors. And Blake Banks, who is here. Raise your hand, Blake. Are you in the building? Okay, yeah, he knows. We were in the same youth ministry together. And so Josh and Brand told us that we're going to be going on our first ever mission trip. And we were geeking out, dude. Like, number one, we get to travel to Mexico, and it's going to be, I'm sorry, not Mexico, Jamaica. We're pumped. We're ready. So it's going to be like $1,300 to go. And so group at the time, we're like, okay, we're scrounging money. We're on the side of the road holding posters, dancing. This was before GoFundMe and Kickstarter and all that. But like, we're doing everything, and we raised the money. And we're like, dude, you cannot miss this opportunity. It's gonna be life-changing. He's just like, dude, I want to so bad. My freaking mom, dude. I'm like, he said, she said I can't travel out the country, bro. Dang it, I freaking hate her, man. I'm like, okay, sucks, it sucks. So we go to Jamaica, has the most life-transforming encounter ever. We see, like, we think downtown Albany is bad. If you're from here, like, it was the most poverty-stricken, horrific thing imagine. Like, we see babies that have literally just slept on concrete because their parents, like the craziest stuff your mind can even fathom. And it was like what God did. And so we come back and we ended up having this huge highlight video of what God did. And we're telling everybody, like, look, dude, you need to go. Amazing. And we're like, Blake, dude, you missed it. And Blake bawls crying. I'm like, bro, you're a tit, dude. Suck it up. For real. I was like, bro, why are you crying? And he says, can we talk? I'm like, yeah. So we walk. He's like, bro. I'm like, what? He said, I lied. What? He said, I didn't even tell my mom. I'm like, what? What you mean, you little punk? And this is before I was like really saved. So I had a lot of other things I said to him. He's like, I was like, why didn't you go? He's like, I didn't want to get on the plane. Literally, bro, this little dork was so scared out on quite literally, and almost every single one of us who went to Jamaica are either high-level leaders in the church or are on staff now. It was amazing. And he missed it because he, sorry. There's going to be, and I want to be real for a second, there's going to be so many things in your life where I not believe that sin is going to be the thing that stops you. Like, I'm just going to be 100% real. This life that you're in, we say this all the time. We believe that, man, once you get saved, that's just the start. Like raising your hand, however you get saved, like responding to the call of Jesus, like, bro, that's the beginning. And it starts the greatest journey imaginable. The Bible says that kind of this relationship that we're in, it's not just a decision. It's not even a destination. It's a race. Hebrews, nobody really knows the author of Hebrews. Some believe it's Paul. It says this. It says, run this race with perseverance. Look what it says. And let us run endurance the race God has set before us. There's a reality that this relationship with Jesus, faith, it's not a weekly event. It is quite literally a race. Not a walk, not a jog. It's a race. And in this relationship, you understand that on the track of whatever part of the race you're on, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be hurdles, and there's going to be God-sized dreams and doors that are open for you. And understand the biggest regret you'll ever have is not what you did, but what you chose not to do out of fear, out of you didn't want to leave your telling you guys, and you're about to go on break. There's going to be so many things that God puts in your life, doors of opportunity that he puts right in front of you. And I promise you the guilt and the shame you feel will not be sin. It will be because of what you didn't do with him. Like one of the biggest mistakes of my life is when I was in high school, I take this thing seriously, and I was like, God was literally telling me to do this, and I freaking missed it. And can I tell you where my friends are now that I was supposed to witness to and talk about? You would not believe. Some are quite literally prostituting themselves for drugs. Others have committed suicide. This stuff is a race. And so what we want you guys to understand is this. Like you, and I'm talking right now to followers of Jesus, if you're saved. Like you are not saved. Your life is meant to be dangerous. Like this relationship with God is supposed to be risky, bro. Like Josh has been talking about, like we are living not on a playground, but in a battleground. This is a real war, but even more than that, understand people are gonna hate you. The world is gonna freaking hate you. They're gonna hate what you stand for. They're not gonna understand your stance. They're gonna hate your integrity. They're gonna hate like what you're called to. These things should be dangerous. If this relationship is safe, you might not have a relationship with the God that I serve. Because on this race, the biggest thing that you need to worry about is not the regret of what you did. We have grace, all that, man, and we will counsel you through that. What you need to be aware of is the regret to do. Because sometimes doors of opportunity close if you don't walk through them. And other times, the door that God had designed for you, he'll give the one who actually had the faith to walk in it. And let me tell you how horrible it is to watch something that God's put on your heart for you to do and somebody else begin to walk. Compare yourself. Why? Because you canceled yourself before when you chose not to do it. So really quick, anybody get that message we sent today around 12 o'clock? Anybody get it? Raise your hand. If you didn't, us and we'll get you on the text list. We're gonna show you really quick a Bible story, one of the most random, arbitrary, quite hilarious and weird Bible stories that illustrate like to where you quite literally run from the regret of inaction. Basically what was going on, it was in 2 Samuel 20 through 23. Some context, God had told his people, the Israelites, that they were going to go into the promised land. God had all the promises for them. We might have heard, if you grew up in church, about the promised land. It was this land, it was quite literally everything they could have ever wanted. Everything they wanted was in this land, but it didn't come for free, it came. God literally told them, because this land was this was before Jesus, like the land was so perverse, there was nothing but evil. God literally commanded them that they were to go in, destroy completely all the military centers and drive out all the people until they possessed it. It became ultimately be a blessing. And so when you read the Old Testament, there's a whole lot of murder and evil and chaos, but that's why you have to read the Bible through the filter of the. Okay, quick Bible study tip. Whenever you're reading the Bible, it was not written directly to you. It was written for you, though. It was written to a first audience in a completely different culture. Well, you need to read it through the filter of the first audience. And this is where this story picks up. Right here. This is amazing. We'll read it on. Benaiah. Y'all say Benaiah. Benaiah, not banana. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada. Say Jehoiada. Jehoiada. And that completely wrong. A valiant fighter from Kabzeel. The flip is a Kabzeel. Performed great exploits. Moabs, that was a huge neighboring nation that they were called to dispossess and destroy. He struck down Moab's 2 mightiest warriors. He also went down into a pit on a lion. How detailed, bro. And he struck down a huge Egyptian. Although the Egyptian had a spear, went against him with a club. He snatched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear. My goodness. Such were the exploits of Benaiah, son of Jehoiada. 2 was as famous as the 3 mighty warriors. He was held in greater honor than any of the 30, but he was not included among David, King David, the David that many of you, if you grew up in church, you've read part of the Bible, you've heard about, put him in charge of his bodyguard. Benaiah, or you can call him a nobody. But God is really good at using nobodies. Command to these people. He gave a command to a people, like every single one of us, we have a command to make disciples, to love, to follow, all these other different things, right? And typically, there's somebody that actually missed the thing that God has called them to do. So Benaiah is this nobody, and he understands that God has called them and even his whole entire generation to come after him to possess this land, destroy everybody that's destroying them, take possession of this land, kill these people, drive them out. And in the story, there's all these other people who are too afraid. They end up settling in a land that's not theirs. They're too afraid because the Egyptians are too big. They have all these excuses for not actually walking in what God told them to do. Because sometimes when you follow Jesus, obedience is very risky. My God, just being a nice person in high school, because you're weak. Standing up for your purity and your faith is risky because your reputation's on the line. Obedience to God is risky, but this dude's actual life was on the line. There were so many things that he could have said. Like number 1, oh bro, it's 2 against 1. That math ain't mathin'. Okay, you know what I'm saying? This man, it said that he went into a pit with a lion on a snowy day. He could have just been like, nah, fam, it's too cold. Out there, it's too cold. That's why I wasn't doing check-in. I was walking in and hanging out with y'all. It's too cold. No. And then he could have said, nope, that Egyptian's got a spear and I ain't even got a stick. Nope. One excuse that got in the way of him doing this. And what ended up happening is he climbed the ranks so much because he actually was obedient to what God told him to do. It says, it said that he was counted as one of the most honoring people of all. It said that he was not a part of the 3. The 3 was just the mighty. David really had these three people that he rallied around. It says he wasn't a part of them, but he climbed the ranks to where he was quite literally the chief of everything. And this is not saying like God's saying to go out and kill people. Like this is not some huge social justice thing saying that you need to go take up arms for everybody that defends. This is simply saying that in your life, number one, you are not saved to play it safe. There's going to be situations that you face dangerous, and that's the door that God has called you to. I don't know what your faith looks like. I don't know what your relationship with Jesus looks like right now, but understand, divinely place doors of opportunity in front of your life. Nobody else is your life. Opportunities for you to do, people that you reach out to, people that you're called to stand up, places that you're called to go, places you're called not to go. And it is, I'm telling you, the relationship that you actually desire is one of risk. It's not safe. We're going to talk all about what it looks like to actually take risks and the kind of risk that you can take to actually live a life that other people get so jealous of because of the joy that you have taking. But tonight I want to talk about how you can run the race free of any regret. For quite literally the biggest problem that you'll face is not what happened the day before or what's being said about you, but that you simply missed a God opportunity. And if you've ever felt that way to where you feel like God told you to do something, maybe pray for somebody or talk to your parents about the thing or invite somebody. Like when you miss that, it feels like a punch in the gut. But the greatest joy you will feel is when you actually recognize what you to do in this moment and you do it. And everybody else around you say, wow, that could have been me. So the question is, what of us to run this race free of regret, actually risking everything that comes our way? We'll find this in Hebrews 12. It says this. I'll put it on the screen. If you have your paper Bible, I'll read it in here as well. It says this. It says, therefore, surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us. And let us run with perseverance the race out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before him, he endured the cross, scorning the shame, and he sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Do y'all know what happens when you run a race and you fall on your face, fam? You trip. Do y'all know what happens? Anybody ever done the Murph workout? Y'all ever done this? You ever done that? Thank you, bro. Trey, you have not done the Murph workout. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. You right? Yeah, you good, bro. The Murph workout is it's honoring a fallen veteran, and you end up doing how many? What do you do, Trey? Tell us. I think so. Somebody help us. Blake, what is the Murph, bro? Tell us. That's the guy who didn't go. I'm just playing. All right, no. So what is it? Easy. Who just said that? You are a dork. Little boy, y'all broke bank Crocs. This is American. Knock off Apollo Creed Crocs. No. Yeah, anybody? Okay, yeah. A 45-pound vest, bro? Doing air squats and no. Get off me. Who? Okay, men, boys, whatever. You want to feel emasculated? Try to do that daggone workout. I passed out so quick. I'm like, okay, I got this. 45-pound vest, face on the ground. Not kidding. Like busted my shit. So while all the men in CrossFit Dreadnought back in the day were doing it, I was doing it. The only weight I had was my tank top that I cut up. Legit, dude. I had all the guns showing. My Red Ryder BB gun. It was going. And I still almost passed out, bro. It was the worst thing ever. And what the Bible talks about is that there's two things that are going to get in your way. Run before you can actually, man, I wish y'all could wake up to how fun this freaking thing is. Oh my goodness, dude. To see like God use you to literally pray for somebody and see their bones come. Like for God to use you to do something that you 3 years ago had a panic attack thinking about doing and now you do it. I wish you could wake up right now to how fun this thing is. But what typically happens is there's two different things that get in your way. One, there's a good thing, a weight that holds you down, but then there's also The Bible calls it sin that trips you up. So if you're gonna run, if you're gonna and we're talking about this before you go on break for a reason, if you're gonna have it fun. Following Jesus should put a fire in your soul. This thing is not safe. It is risky and dangerous. You think disobeying your parent and all, this thing is the most dangerous, exciting thing. But you gotta watch out for these two. One, it says that you have to what slows you down. And I'm gonna ask that you guys be very mature right now. See, remember, you have to read the Bible through the filter of the first. You read the Bible, don't ask, what does it mean to me? Ask, what the flip did it mean to them? Because y'all have heard of the Olympics, right? Okay, the Olympics. There's this big sporting event. No, okay, all right, bet, whatever. Well, in the ancient Olympics, do you know what they did to train Olympics? It was crazy. They didn't just diet. They didn't just get shredded. They would compete naked. Straight up. Guys, imagine. Yeah, these people, they would compete butt naked. Some of y'all pervs need to stop thinking about the ancient. Legit, they would compete bone thug, everything out naked. No, hey, yo, get out of here. Your problem. Sorry, kid. Yeah, you wrestled. There's still the leotard with, that's a whole nother thing, bro. Anyways, they would come. I'm talking about throwing everything. But the reason is they were, and come back to me. They were so serious. Every that weighed them down, they knew it would get in the way of them winning the race. There was such a seriousness to this competition. They would train 18 years, 20 years of their life, everything for this moment, for this 10 seconds, 20 seconds. They would compete, nothing weighing them down because they knew they had to take every single thing into precaution, because if anything slowed them down, when you run a race, only one person wins. Every person, second place, third place, have regret. This is a race. You are not saved to play it safe. If this thing is just a Wednesday and Sunday thing for you, I feel bad for you. And what we want you to understand, do you belong here? You can be here. We welcome all of you here. But our goal in the 6 years average in student ministry, it's gonna take about 3 years maybe that you're with us, is that you would wake up to the reality of how real daily this thing is. Because following Jesus, guys, people walked in. This is not a weekly event. This is a daily decision. Not only is it a fight every day, but this can be the funnest thing for you. Thing that will weigh you down. Paul said this. He said, I do not run. Is this it? Yep. Y'all, I'm low-key trying to keep up with my notes and look up there. This is what it says. In 1 Corinthians 9:24. No, that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize. Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in training, they do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will not last forever. Salvation, getting saved, and getting into heaven is not the only reward. When you go to heaven, there will be a quite little where you will be rewarded for everything you get. Not only that, in this life, there are spiritual rewards. There is a spiritual peace that you, a spiritual joy, a wholeness, a belonging that you receive when you begin to walk this thing out day to day. This world is too wicked. There's only two options if you were here on Sunday. It's either the world or the church. And I'm telling you guys, there are so many rewards that you can receive right now, but it comes when you actually face risk. It does not come with any reward. The last thing that we want is for you guys to go through all of this time, this break, everything we have coming up, and you waste the greatest year. Because I'm telling you, Jesus Christ, he used teenagers to flip the world upside down. And he wants to use you. Because when in a couple years, maybe in a couple months, reality is going to punch you in the face harder than Mike Tyson and Muhammad in the same breath. Ask any senior. We're going to have some other people, here. They're going to come and talk to you guys about what the real world is like and how it completely knocks you off your feet unless you have something strong standing on. So you have to strip off what. You also have to lay aside any sin that trips you up. This is the reality of what many followers of Jesus, they look like. They think they're following Jesus. They think they're doing good. But actually, they end up looking Go ahead, DJ. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got hands in my pants, so I dance like I'm crazy. Left, now go crazy. One heart, two heart, make it
Like ready to
wavy.
give up, dude.
Jesus, my Lord, yeah, he's steady. Riot, four mans together, I pray when I to my enemies, you know they stay silent.
Yo.
Throw it, catch it. Claude, is you really a Christian when you
Oh, we
rapping?
already
Man,
know
I'm
what
a
it
whole
is, bro.
pastor, regardless, it's poppin'. I got big bands. I got big hands. Big pants when I do.
You're okay. You can do that. People do that all the time in the Olympics.
Sweet.
Shawty wanna dance
Do that.
to the
People
Billie
do that all the time.
Oh, my slimmy G.
Everybody.
Really be a beauty queen. Yeah, I got
Good job. Y'all give it up for Billy Miley. I love how you put ants in my pants behind it. That's amazing. Guys, you can ask your crew leaders this. What we get the funnest, but the saddest thing at the same time. And we get it because we were quite literally in your shoes, man. Like, it is the most satisfying thing on earth to see Revive Night, 250 people pile in here and party. I mean, go at it. You know, like encounter God, completely delivered, set free. It's amazing having conversations with you guys, going to the games on Friday, like all this stuff. But can I tell you how depressing it is? To see students who we actually think, if you were here last week, this is not just students and pastor. This is brother, sister, like to see our family like say one thing in a minute and get out on Thursday. And understand, we're not here to shame you. And there's a reality to where some people do live in just blatant sin. And a lot of people, though, they just don't know how to struggle. They don't understand what grace truly is. And it breaks our heart, truly, to watch people that we will honestly give our life for fall out there and how Jesus sees them. Like, one of the greatest realities you can understand is that once you get over your old self, and you understand what Jesus did for you, listen, you're gonna fall, you're gonna trip up, but the reality with every one of those people, they never got up again. What will take you out is not the sin, it is staying there. Like what's gonna stop you is not the things that you keep falling into, it's gonna be your cup. So every single one of you guys, I wanna ask you the question before we go to cruise, two things really, really quick. Going into this break, going into the end, what is one thing that God is asking of you right now? Think about this. Imagine, like, what is one thing that God is asking of you? What is one thing that He is calling you to? Maybe it's to start a YouTube channel. Maybe it's to post your story on social media. Maybe that friend and invite them to come hang out with you because you know they don't have friends. Maybe it's to forgive your dad. Maybe for you, it's something completely different. Maybe church on Sundays. Maybe for you, it's inviting your family to come. Maybe, I don't know, like whatever it is, God will always speak one thing. What is it? And what is stopping you? Or what is, let's think like this. What is a good thing? Sports, relationship. What is a good thing that is actually keeping you from the God thing? Because I'm telling you, the devil is really, really good and the world is really good. It's giving you these really, really good things and it's keeping you from the thing you were actually made and designed to do. So what is keeping you from it? Or what is that sin? What is that keeps tripping you up? And like we talk about in Cruise, who can you expose it to? Listen, some of you guys, you're hiding in what you simply think if you get found out, they won't care about you anymore. What I love about this church, what I love about Cruise is that like, this is the one place you can expose yourself and not be exposed. All right, this is the one place you can come and actually blast yourself and people don't go create a spam account about it and blast. Like this is the one place, and again, like we talked about last week, the church is not perfect. Like people are not perfect, but every single person here at some point in their life has experienced what broken feels like. And so what happens when you go to Cruise Intimate and you actually open up, you don't have to open up to everybody, maybe a leader, maybe one individual, and you actually tell your story and you talk about like what's going on and why it hurt, like amazed at the friends that you attract, not repel. Some of you, simply being open where you are is one of the riskiest things that you can do, but can I tell you, it's what's required for true relationship. Some of you guys do not have to go on this break alone. Some of you guys do not have to go through the end of the year as people are partying, hanging out, and you see them and you feel bad because they weren't friend enough to invite you. The path to true friendship is vulnerability and authenticity. So I ask and I beg you guys, find 1, 2 people, maybe a crew leader, somebody, just to be open with where you are. And if you're doing, I hope you do better. Because I'm telling you, this thing, you are not saved to play it safe. There's so much more for every single one of you. Because the truth is, imagine if like Jesus played it safe with us, you know? Like one of the greatest risks is, the Bible says that Jesus actually came here. Quite literally, God in flesh literally came here, literally became one of us, and he died, knowing if you would ever say yes. Not knowing if you would say yes and then flake off later. Not knowing if you would actually go in. He still did it. The greatest. And he did it. The rest of that verse says, for the joy set before him, he endured the cross. You know what the joy was? The potential of having a relationship with you.